everyone. So my name is Tiffany and I'm a member of the working committee for the GCEL 2025 conference. Today is day one and we are here to just collaborate as individuals, government, policymakers in education, in energy, and just to see how we can collaborate together to ensure sustainability in these areas. I'll go right into the conference at the moment and I'll come back and chat with you later.
I'm here in my capacity as somebody doing research on issues that impact global development, and energy poverty is one of those issues. My research focus is mostly looking at understanding of development as a multi-dimensional issue. So you have economic issues and you have social issues. And within the SDGs, SDG 7, which is really the golden thread, is emerging as the golden thread. So if there's lack of poverty, as lack of energy as one of the dimensions of poverty, or an opportunity, lack of an opportunity, then it sets people behind. Those people who do not have access to energy, and I'll come to clean energy, the types of energy shortly in my presentation. But first it is the access to energy. That is now in the 21st century for sure the golden thread that will nudge human beings to a progress that is green, that enables flourishing of human beings. So my research is located in this aspect. I am coming more from looking at lack of energy or energy poverty as a dimension. So that's where my research is coming. What I'm going to be doing today is looking at SDG 7, what the landscape, global landscape is very briefly, but also then seeing what the challenges are there for the emerging countries. I will, the actions, what are universities doing, etc., or what specifics about the clean energy pathways, my colleague Dr. Hassan Beg would be touching on that. So I have first got just looking at why energy matters, and as I said, I look at it as a dimension of poverty, or if you define poverty as lack of opportunities that people have, wherever they are. This is also a misnomer to think that that lack of opportunity or pockets of deprivation are only in parts of the world far away. We have those, we know, in all cities of developed countries. We have that in East London, so we are sitting at a cusp where you have the gentrification of the city, sitting side by side with people who have inequalities, who experience inequalities and inequities in health, in access to social services, in education, and energy poverty too. So I'm just trying to go over a quick summary of, I'm sure many of you know this, but it's good to just have a refresher of why energy matters. As said, it's a golden thread, but if you look at 759 people globally have no access or lack access to electricity. So if you see, and then the second one, 2.6 billion people rely on biomass for cooking. Now the whole debate on energy, access to energy, I said we look at what type of energy, because that matters. This is a part of the bigger debate on sustainability, sustainable development. What does that mean? And looking that into climate change and carbon emissions. So if we look at how many people are relying on a source of energy, that's really damaging to the environment. And and biomass energy and fossil fuel led energy is the worst for environment. As I'm sure you know, the amount of carbon dioxide, carbon related, it leaves into the environment, causing increase of greenhouse gases, is, you can see, a large proportion dependent on biomass. I've got a little something here saying the cycle. What is causing, see, on top of this is the carbon dioxide, that's where it's going. Fossil fuels are even worse. And then see the third, something positive. Why is it a golden thread? It drives healthcare, it drives education, growth, and I've got some pictures, you know, how it's good for us, why it's considered the golden thread. I'll take about 10 minutes or so, and then so this is just a quick, again, just an overview of the landscape of SDG 7. So you have here, this is of the complete, what we are, greenhouse gases, which sector produces most. Energy consumption is, and this is quite recent data, this is 2021, a little bit has changed, but not too much. So we have, you can see 75% is coming from energy consumption. And then you have other sectors there. Waste is there, industrial processing, agriculture. And then you can break up that 75%. What does that energy mean? So if you look at the second figure, that's the 75%, and then it just breaks into further sectors. So the biggest one, again, you see about close to 30% is electricity and heat. So the energies that we are right now, we are consuming that energy. ACs contribute, that's coming from that 30%. We have transportation, this is manufacturing and construction, 12%, building, and then this is the emissions, looking at 6.5. So that's a big problem there, you see. And then what can you do about it? If we are consuming, what can we do about it? Again, as I said, fossil fuel led and renewable. Renewables are something that are changing, that the earth is, it can be renewed. It's not a fossil fuel that it's formed and it goes into the atmosphere. It's not there. Again, renewable energy, some examples I can give you. Can anybody think of a renewable energy source? Just, yes?
Hydro energy.
Yeah. Anything? Same. Anything else?
Solar panel.
Solar panel, right? So, excellent. And you'll see, I'm sure you've sort of seen that, because if you think sunlight is there, you're only capturing it. And you're using it, it's coming, more and more is coming. There's also the wind, there's also the tidal, the waves, but you could say, well, if it's all there, it's all free, why don't we actually go and do it? Can anybody again think of why don't we go and actually capture these things quicker than what we are? We've known now for the last 20 years that it's better to use renewable energy sources than fossil fuel based, but why aren't we doing it?
Three suggestions. One is, could it be the oil producers who have a vested interest in not promoting it or letting it develop? Secondly, the cost of infrastructure and gathering.
Correct. I want to be more positive, so I'll want to talk about the first one first. But you're absolutely right. There is a vested interest in not letting the renewable sources expand and make it more accessible by people who are actually, you can see in that sector, the 30% sector. So there is that, absolutely. What will happen to all the oil wells in Texas? You see, what will happen to all the big oil producers? if we start to reduce consumption from that source. So yes, absolutely. But this is also true. The major factor is the technologies to harness renewable sources remain quite cost intensive. They are quite very expensive. And the reason why I'm focusing there, because we'll come in 2 minutes, I'll show you how much of infrastructure investment is required in order to harness these free sources. But that should be the way. That absolutely should be the way forward. So there we are. That's the source, and there is increase. And on a positive note again, if you look at the data in the last 10 years or 15 years, from the point we got to know that it's better to use renewable than dependence on fossil fuel, technologies have been improving. The costs have been coming down, but they remain high. And so that's something that really requires attention. So this is something, the next slide, you see that this is a major problem. Heavy reliance on fossil fuels and biomass, limited rural grid infrastructure. Even if you have these energies you harness, how to distribute it to people? So much of the in the emerging economies, you'll say you have urban centers, and then you have the rural sector, which is quite widespread. Now, how do you take this energy that you've harnessed to so that all the people can access it? So I can tell it is improving, but for example, in India, you'll find that those connections are there, and there's a main connection in a village. But what about the individual households? Those grids, those connections are intensive, and it takes time to get there. Yes.
Clarification. In the news we hear about China using a lot of fossil fuels, but in that chart it's approximately number 6 or 7 there.
Yes.
And Canada is using the most. That surprises me.
Excellent. So if you look up here, per capita energy from fossil fuels. Now the minute you make it country-wise, because of the population base, both China will go right up because of the close to 1.4 billion people compared with 350 million in the United States, let's say, and less in Canada. The population of Canada is much less than 350. I'm talking about the US. So Australia also comes quite high overall. But you see, you see Australia per capita. This is all per capita. And you look at here, China per capita that's what they are doing. India per capita, look, it's very, very low. But again, if you multiply that by now it's more populous than China. So it goes up. It doesn't go up as much as China because it's already starting at a low point. But that's the reason. You see, developed countries like to use that data. Whereas in emerging countries, because you have to enable individuals, you need to enable communities to have access to clean energy. So that is why I've put that. I'm really glad you asked that. Exactly the reason. But people who are interested in human flourishing, human development, we need to be using this. What about these individuals? You can say China is producing a lot. India is producing a lot of carbon emissions. Now reduce. So you start reducing without looking at per capita consumption of people living in these countries. So you see, why do you think this doesn't change? We've known this for the last 15-20 years. Why do you think this is not changing? The top ones are not really changing. Why is anybody like to have a go as to why they are not changing? Anyone? It requires lifestyle change. You see, this requires lifestyle change, and that's, we've known, people here know what is happening, but lifestyle changes, inconvenience it's going to cause, not changing. We're not even, I mean, there have been some changes. Let's begin with that. Yes, you know, use of electric vehicles, although the, you know, the life cycles of an electric vehicle, the carbon footprint that leaves, it's still contested, but it's in the right direction. The change of bulbs, all move to more energy efficient lighting. That's good. Sort of almost zero use of single-use plastic. Yes, people are more and more aware of taking their own bags to shopping, little things. So this is what counts towards behavioral change. And the amount of literature, popular literature that's available on that, how it's better to walk to grocery when you can than to take cars. So little changes. People shouldn't, in my research, I found that one shouldn't reject these small behavioral changes, because that's what makes the big policy change. So there is, but it's too little too late. We've already, you know, in the 50s and 60s and 70s, access to, economies were based around fossil fuel use. So, and even when the science was, you know, people were made aware of the science, they continued to use that. Yes. Sorry?
Do you think transition in Sub-Saharan Africa, let's say lots of people in Sub-Saharan Africa are transitioning from no energy to renewables?
Absolutely, and I've got that in my next slide, that, you know, that could be an exemplar model. That, see, most of these countries, including India, they followed their model. Right now, the thing is to have the urban access to electricity, the modes of transportation, the whole energy consumption pattern is emulating the West here, which we know is very damaging. So because Africa started so low, next slide is coming, there's absolutely an opportunity to actually develop a new model. Yeah, I agree with you, yes.
You said the obstacle to change or move toward better sustainable energy is lifestyle adaptation. Is that is the reason public resistance or governmental resistance?
Both. You see, I think it's both. Somebody says, you know, you don't need, people here, average household is probably 3 cars. Do you really need that? But then people would say, where is the public transport? You provide us with good public transport and we will not use the car. So you see, it's the egg and chicken situation. So that's why I said it's both. You put pressure, governments should do that, but then they have to raise taxes and people don't want that. So exactly that, yeah.
Taxes for infrastructure.
How else is the government going to get money? But people would say, you know, it's very expensive. To make transport more accessible or cheaper to use, they need to raise taxes elsewhere. But nobody wants that. Nobody wants taxes raised in any domain. But you see, you can see Nordic countries, there's a slide, they have very high taxes, but they have very accessible transportation. They have a lot of public services, but that's coming from higher taxes. So somebody, I don't want to take, Hassan, please tell me if I go beyond the next 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. Right, so challenges, so I have put in here. So this is again just reiterating the dependency. There's fossil fuel is 81.26%. This is 2024 data. This still this is where the real problem is. High dependence on fossil fuels. We continue to do that. Renewables are just close to 15%, and nuclear is 4%. I mean, you can dig deeper and say, okay, we said so much of energy was being consumed, but what were the sources? And if you break that into sources, you will find fossil fuel remains the highest, the biggest source. So this is that slide I was wanting to show you. So if you see the darker, you see, all of in Africa, there's hardly any data, because in one of the slides I'll show that about 48% of sub-Saharan Africa has got poor or no access to electricity. So yes, absolutely. I mean, this is a big opportunity in my view for the continent of Africa. South Africa is, of course, is different, and these countries here, but this middle sub-Saharan Africa here, most of it is got really the opportunity to show the way ahead. All other countries have, trying to change to something else, whereas they can put together something and say, well, this is the way forward for renewable, accessible energy. So there's abundant renewable resources, which is what we said, geothermal, wind, hydro. They are falling. This is some of the positives. They are falling. The renewable costs are falling. You will see that from the solar panels. Even in this country, government, some subsidies given, not a lot, but some subsidies given. But in countries, I know for sure in India, and there's a case study from Bangladesh that I'll mention, the amount of solar panels you see, even small ones, the road lights, by the shopkeepers, etc., just, the bulb being lit with that, that's something quite positive, and that needs to be encouraged and expanded for sure. Off-grid and mini-grid innovations are expanding. Yes, much needed, but it's happening, and digital solutions are improving. So this is, I won't go into the detail. These are the case studies. If any of you if we have time, we can, from Bangladesh, 4 million homes powered by solar home systems. You can say that, maybe expand on that. India, the solar capacity is been increasing in India. There was, I think, in one of the earth-short prices probably 2 years back, the price from India was, you see, India has got a lot of arable land, which means agricultural land, but it's also got over 1.4 billion people to feed. So it can't afford to have solar farms. You can't replace agricultural land with solar farms. So what should you be doing? The project that got the prize was that in the canal system in the state of Punjab, which is also very hot, and there's problem of water evaporation also during the very hot seasons, they put the panels on the canal system. So and it served two purposes. Of course, it was taking the heat. It was not replacing arable land for the solar farm, so the agricultural land remained as it is. They put it there. In the solar panel, I believe they require cooling. They can't take the heat can't go beyond a certain temperature. So the water from the canals was providing that cooling to the panels, but it also prevented the evaporation of the water from the canal system. I don't know whether it's been sort of upscaled. This was a small project that got its award 2 years back, but you can see with how innovative that project was. That it prevented, three things it achieved. Don't replace agricultural land. Yeah, all the things saying we need food, you can't be changing. Good. So it didn't. It addressed that. Then it also addressed address the system requires cooling, so the water was cooling, but it also prevented the evaporation of the water from the canals. So innovations like that are happening, but you can see it is quite resource intensive in terms of trying to build it across the network. Yes.
When you say water for cooling, is that
the panels require? No, it doesn't. It just requires it to be cooled. It needs
over the water?
under the panel is there, the water is there, so it's keeping it cool rather than here.
Geothermal, I've forgotten.
Oh, the active, like in volcano or, in the hot water springs. So in Iceland, there's a lot of geothermal activity through hot water springs, etc. There's things that come out here.
Biomass, is that burning of wood or?
Yes, absolutely. Wood, yeah, absolutely, all that. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's better than fossil fuel, but it still produces a lot of carbon dioxide. And in Kenya, more than 40% electricity is coming from geothermal. If you did a study of Iceland, probably you'll find is 80 or 90% is coming from geothermal activity. There it's opposite. Here we need hot water to come and cold water in the tap. There it's opposite. Hot water comes naturally in the tap and you need cold water to be pumped for the mixing. So it's quite different. Okay. So this was just, we can go on saying what the government should be doing, etc. I don't want to take time being prescriptive here. We know the problems. Some innovations I mentioned, and of course you require new types of jobs, retraining, etc. We can talk about that. So that was my conclusion, and this is something Ban Ki-moon said, energy is the golden thread. This was way back, 10 years back. So I think that's my references, and that's thank you. Okay. Do you want to?
Good afternoon. Is working? Good afternoon, all of you. While the setup is being done, okay, let me just introduce myself. My name is Dr. Hassan Beg. I'm the head for the London Renewable Energy Lab, which is a new and upcoming lab at the University of East London. I'm also the course leader for Sustainable Energy Engineering. We did hear a lot very important facts in the previous presentation by my colleague Professor Meera, talking about the importance of sustainable energy and the role it has got to play for the future. My talk is obviously going to touch on something different in a way that it will tell us what is actually necessary today to change our future. Is it really technology? Is technology something that is inhibiting us to make the change? Or is it something else? Is it investment or what? So this is the question that my talk is going to answer. And I will also touch upon what role University of East London is doing in order to drive this change related to renewable energy. So, if you take a minute, is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine.
Yes, please go on the first slide. Go on the first slide. Should I tell you to start? All right. Okay. So the title of my talk, as you can see, is about empowering future change makers. We talked about technology, we talked about investment, but I feel one of the most important ingredient that we need is people. People are key towards driving change, and those people could be, yourselves and the future enablers who are probably students at universities and the youngsters who are out there. So today's talk we will be addressing or talking mostly about how we can change or drive a sustainable future by empowering our individuals. That is the change makers. So climate emergency is a very well-known fact. We all are very familiar with these terms. The role climate emergency is playing in order to change, the way we lead our day-to-day lives. There are ambitious targets being set up by governments, net zero targets. Every country out there has set up some or the other net zero targets. As part of those net zero targets, there is also an underlying theme which is related to education and skills, which I suppose is of very important to this group that I'm addressing here. And then in order to drive this change, is there certain innovation that is needed to make a sustainable future an absolute reality? So if you look at the University of East London, it's obviously one of the upcoming university in terms of its global ranking, and one of the key theme that is driving change at the university is its uninhibited ambition, which is our 2030 goal, which basically aims to make our institution completely net zero. How are we going to do that? Obviously, when we talk about net zero, we have to implement change in a lot of things. It could be implementation or adoption of renewable energy technology as a resource of electricity or heat for use within the buildings. It could be cutting down the carbon emissions by making use of environmental friendly materials, cutting down waste, promoting the use of eco-travel, incorporating behavioral changes, as you really pointed upon, making people more and more aware by educating them the importance of sustainability, and trying to slowly incorporate changes in their day-to-day lifestyle so that we are making a real change happen. If we look at the net zero carbon emissions decarbonization plan, we can make some major changes, beginning with trying to cut down the electricity and the heat, whatever is coming from fossil fuels, and shifting towards green energy by introduction of maybe solar panels, heat pumps, and other important enabling technologies like EV. The other important effect that we can have on a smaller scale is through introduction of energy efficient buildings. This can happen particularly by making use of simple things like electric bulbs, which are LEDs, or making use of sensors which are continuously monitoring what is the energy usage that is happening inside the university, making sure our building management systems are competent enough to make sure that no light is turned on if the space is not being utilized. And the third thread that links to this is talking about what is, when all of this is happening, what is the data that is being generated, how this data can be utilized to educate us, to educate the students who are on the campus, so that they are very well informed of actually what's going on in this university. They get a real sense of, okay, today this is the kind of energy production that has happened from solar, this is so much amount of energy that we have consumed through by running heat pumps. This was the amount of energy consumed in our classrooms. So when you have information, when you have this diagnostic data, you become very well informed. Just a quick example to that would be, suppose if somebody was diagnosed with a disease like diabetes, God forbid, if they get a quick information about what is the sugar level on a day-to-day basis, then it makes them informed about what should be the next meal that they would have, or it enables them to understand, what kind of lifestyle change that they need to make. So that information or data that, we can present to the people who are on the campus will definitely enable them towards making those sustainable choices. It will enable or inform the university itself as to where it is going wrong or right, what are the critical steps that it needs to take. Now, when you look at sustainable energy education at University of East London, we try to embed the aspects related to sustainable energy at different levels. Starting at the undergraduate level, we offer some courses which are related to introduction of renewable energy technologies, wherein students get educated into different type of renewable energy technologies which are out there. They get introduced to the fact about if suppose they wanted to do a simple installation of a solar field on top of the house or for a small community, they know exactly how to design that sort of a system. As the students progress to a master's level or a postgraduate level, students work on a variety of renewable energy technologies, wherein they try to innovate or develop new kinds of renewable energy technologies, or supplement whatever they have learned from their undergraduate training. This master's course that is delivered is open to a wide variety of individuals, not necessarily people who have just done engineering, so that we embrace people coming from different backgrounds and from different educational background, to be correct. So that the ethos of utilizing sustainable energy is embedded through this educational journey that they try to take. Equally, in all these courses, we try to instill some practical skills. These practical skills are quite important so that they get some hands-on experience, be it related to actually making some solar panels, deploying them, testing them, alongside with the digital skills that are needed to design such systems or develop new kinds of innovative systems. An important chapter that we see, or trend that we see these days, is how these youth which is out there can take up an idea, work alongside with a team of people, a group, and then a new startup or a company can come out which can completely change the game of the technology that they would have proposed. So it could all start from a very simple novel idea that they work on, starting with a minimal viable product, and that can be taken out to the the global marketplace, wherein they can pitch for further investment, try to develop or concrete their idea that they have developed through the course of the study. Equally, we do for PhD students, wherein PhD students take up a much more deep dive into developing newer technologies. There are students who work on a variety of projects related to solar energy, renewable energy, energy efficient buildings, construction materials, sustainable energy materials, all basically providing that needed education that can change or drive us to a sustainable future. When we talk about the key program features, most of the courses that are offered at the University of East London, they're designed to prepare students for future-ready skills. Like, it's not that the skill set that they are learning is going to be of use for them just immediately today, but that is out in the market, but equally making them ready for the next 5-10 years down the line, so that they are at the forefront or the cusp of leading the change related to areas of sustainable energy. An important element while we are delivering all of our courses is that we have strong industry engagement. We have students go out on summer training opportunities, industrial showcases, wherein they get some experiences about what's actually going out in the real world, and that essentially enables them to push the envelope beyond the actual study that happens within the university. Equally, there are different sort of career pathways that the students take. Some students might think of taking up projects, and maybe thinking of joining a company. There might be some other students who might think of starting a company like a startup. There might be other students who might be thinking of pursuing careers within the government sector. So we provide a mix skills through different modules as part of the courses that enables these students to take up any of the career pathway that they would desire. Yes. I just wanted to quickly touch upon some of the recent works that I have been involved in. Recently, I led a project between the UK and India. It was a joint research project in which we enabled student exchange activity. As part of this project, a group of students from the University of East London had an opportunity to visit and work alongside researchers based at Indian Institute of Technology, both in Delhi and in Chennai. Through this particular project, students got an exposure to some high quality research work that is carried out outside the UK. Equally, it was a bilateral exchange wherein students from India visited us back in the University of East London and try to work closely with our students, exchange their thoughts and ideas. Now, why is this really important? One of the things that I have learned over the years is if you want to create something new, then it's very important that you need to work with people who are not probably in your field at all. You might be a mechanical engineer, and tomorrow if you want to actually develop a new product, then you might be working closely with somebody who is working on AI, somebody working on electrical engineering. So when people from different point of views collide or come together, that's when new science is created. So this is perhaps one of the most fundamental and important things that is required for innovation to happen. We have tried it and tested it, and it definitely works. If you were to look across, the best ideas which are going around in the globe, you'll always find that it includes people coming from different domains, sitting together, talking about their point of view for that idea, and then that comes to fruition in the form of a completely new innovation. As part of our project, we conducted 3 different workshops. 2 were conducted in India, one at Indian Institute of Technology in Madras and other in Delhi. We had our students who traveled to these 2 lovely institutions wherein they got experience related to different solar-enabled technologies and other renewable energy technologies. They had an opportunity to present their work, working closely with our partners there, have some industry engagement locally within the country as well, because having organized these workshops, it gave an opportunity for us to engage with players outside the university, bring speakers from outside the university who are particularly leaders from the industry to come and talk to our students about it. A key outcome of this has been that recently we have signed a memorandum of understanding with Indian Institute of Technology in Madras, which will now open up a chapter for our students to, on a yearly scale, have a bilateral exchange happening between University of East London and IIT. Now, we have got... Oh, is that clap for that, or you want me to? Thank you. Now, in order to drive the change, an important element at the university is to have the right infrastructure in place and the right environment to be there. And I conceptualized this in the form of the London Renewable Energy Lab. The London Renewable Energy Lab is a state-of-the-art lab which is having infrastructure wherein you're able to build some small prototypes of new technologies, beginning with solar cells, solar panels, You are able to carry out some industry-style testing of these solar panels. You have an opportunity to model different renewable energy systems. You have an opportunity to work on technologies like fuel cell and hydrogen technology. So this germinated at the University of East London, and the idea is that slowly we have some partners within London locally with whom we can work closely, try to make use of some of the facilities that is available at their colleges. Equally, once we have had a very strong local network, we also want to venture into, global partnerships with people or universities which are worldwide, or organizations like yourselves, through which, we can basically impart this skill set that is being developed and showcased at the university to the wider audience. This is a very simple kind of a schematic that shows you the different areas of research that we work on, starting from solar. We work on energy efficiency, a little bit of wind power. We look into hydrogen, thermal management, and other solar thermal technologies. If anybody is interested to know more about these and would like to have a chat, please, you're welcome to have a chat with me later on. One of the facilities we have is a solar fab, wherein you can actually make your customized solar panel. You can test them under standard testing conditions, wherein you can get the actual spec sheet for a solar panel that you have developed that matches the industry standard. On the campus wide, we are obviously working closely in order to make the campus more green. This has started by first installing a huge amount of solar panel technology. On the campus, we right now have about 1.3 megawatt of solar that is installed on the campus, which is feeding into the energy usage within the campus. There are further plans to integrate perhaps the largest size heat pump, a water-based ground source heat pump that is to be placed in the river that we have adjoining the campus. Equally, there is plans of modernizing the classrooms, introduction of IoT technologies, introduction of sensors in all the spaces so that we are able to manage the campus in a best possible way. Equally, generate the data that will help us educate the people who are on the campus, be it the staff, the faculty, or the students who are working in the area. This is again one of the innovations I was recently involved in last year. I work a lot on solar technology. I try to embed solar technology where possible. One of my ideas was to embed it within your day-to-day clothing. What it would do is it will try to make your clothing obviously less carbon emission. But equally, we will make use of fabrics which can be repurposed or recycled. You can have jackets which will power your mobile phones, provide heat or insulation. Basically improving the day-to-day service by using these technologies. We embed solar technology within building infrastructure. One of the solutions is through introduction of solar technology in the double glazed windows that you see here, wherein the window basically works both as a typical window and generates electricity. We also work on holistic modeling of buildings, wherein buildings are obviously generating lots of carbon emissions. So it's important to have diagnostics of this building, and then we try to develop scenarios in which these buildings can be operated and made more energy efficient. We work also on different type of renewable energy technologies like hydrogen and fuel cell technologies, and introduce new types of materials so that we are able to store hydrogen in an efficient manner. An important aspect I wanted to touch following Professor Meera's talk was about the impact of solar farms on agriculture. So why to stay away from agriculture? Why not embrace agriculture in solar farms? So we closely work on a field what we call as agrivoltaics, wherein we try to bring together agriculture and PV together in harmony so that we are able to both have sustainable agricultural production alongside with electricity generation. The real impact obviously is on the people that we educate. So this is just some of my students where we take them out to outside world, expose them to the industry, and some students which basically transform. So this was one of my students a couple of years back, but today he is working for Milton Keynes Council as a sustainability officer, wherein he is driving the change. So he's leading the chapter there and translating what he has learned in the classroom and driving change in the outside world. So that's what is the power of education. That's what I really wanted to emphasize upon in my today's talk, that if we empower the individuals of today coming from different backgrounds, try to educate them with these skills, then they will drive the future. They will lead us towards the sustainable future that we really want. How do we check about the impact is through whatever work we do, it obviously needs to be showcased outside. So this is one of the awards I won last year. It was a Design Intelligence Award that I won at China, wherein we talked about introduction of solar technology within the clothing materials. Then as academics, we obviously need to publish a lot of our work. So one of the other pathways is wherein we showcase our work through some world-renowned journals. And equally keep a track of how many students we are engaging on a day-to-day basis, on a year-to-year basis. What is the actual change? Because these are the critical numbers that we need to highlight as to how many people's lives have changed, how many people have interacted through the lab space that we have operated. The road ahead for us, obviously, at the university is to, form further relationships, have more and more collaborations, be it at a university scale, institutional scale, be it with the community scale, or through whatever advanced research is being developed within our labs, to share that with, labs across the globe, wherein that opens up furthermore ideas and implementation that we would have not thought originally here as well. So with that, I just would like to give my final note of thanks, saying that obviously sustainable energy teaching and research are going to play a critical role in advancing us towards a sustainable future, and this is only possible when we hold each other's hand and work closely with each other and help us make this change happen and basically achieve those net zero targets that we have poised ourselves to do. And that is only going to happen through education, research, and enabling the future players for a sustainable tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Question about hydrogen. We all know it's looking gas. What is the obstacle, or is it a reality that it may become a good source of energy? Is it possible, or is it just a pie in the sky?
Well, everything starts with that. I would say everything is, every research in academia starts with some sort of blue sky thinking. For the change to happen, for really, making that a reality, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes policy, it takes a lot of investment. If I were to look back at solar panels just 30 or 40 years back, they were like 8 or 10% efficient on a modular scale, and nobody would have thought that we will have today solar panels which are 26% efficient. Equally, there's a lot of research wherein solar panels are being developed which are going to be around 30 or 40% efficient. So it took us time. It took a lot of influence. It took a lot of investment from all these players. As far as hydrogen is concerned, currently hydrogen is primarily produced using fossil fuels. So it's a byproduct from the fossil fuel industry. That's why it's called as grey hydrogen or brown hydrogen, whatever you would call it. There are obviously better ways of generating hydrogen using renewable energy or solar energy technology, which we refer to as green or blue hydrogen. It requires certain investment. So in order to generate, you need to invest in electrolyzers. You need to have the systems which are capable to generate the hydrogen. So that is one important element. The second element is that hydrogen currently is at a cost point which is more expensive to manufacture using the green technology, but it can certainly go down as we progress. The target has been set through by different countries. India has set a target of maybe generating hydrogen at $1 a kilogram. So it's just going to be taking some time and effort, I believe, for that change to happen.
Another question, nobody else has got a question.
Yeah.
About the future and zero carbon, is it achievable or is it just a dream?
It is definitely achievable. Everything starts with a dream again, I would say that. If you don't have a vision and if you don't have a dream, then you can obviously land nowhere. When I was a child growing up, I was told that you dream for the sky, you dream for the moon. At least you land up, on the top of the tree. So everybody needs to have that. That's why we do set targets. That is why there is carbon budgets allocated to different countries to do that. And I hope that continues and helps us to drive the change. Okay, any further questions? Yes?
Hi, my name is Anwar Khan. I'm the finance director of the bank sector.
Okay.
And I'm from Bangladesh. Actually, I'm producing the solar energy in my own land in Bangladesh.
Okay.
So what is the structure like? You are getting so interesting. At the moment, your speech is so wonderful.
Thank you.
And what is the extension? I want you to do the more better for the solar energy.
What can you do furthermore? Okay. First thing is obviously, I don't know how much land have you got. So if you have got any further land, so if you have got more land, then it's a no-brainer today for somebody to put up solar panels. In a country like Bangladesh, the payback period, you would be surprised, is roughly 4 to 5 years. Whatever investment that you will put in, you'll get back that money in 4 to 5 years, and then a typical solar panel has got a lifetime of 25 years today. So you can immediately see financially it's a very viable case that you are able to generate more energy. Another important aspect when you're doing that is to understand or look at spaces and have more kind of a distributed network so that you can match the demand and the generation profile. It's sometimes you will be surprised to hear that the amount of energy that is lost from the point of generation to the point of use is roughly about 40%. So let's say you generate 100 units. By the time it reaches a few kilometers, it becomes 60 units. So it's good to have pockets of generation spread across the land so that the point of usage is closer to the point of generation. Equally, there are aspects like community energy programs that happen in the UK, wherein, for example, a community, a group of people, not as an individual, but as a group, 10, 15 people or 20 people in a community, they come up and develop a small solar farm.
My last question. Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah, good, bad, ugly, whatever it's got to offer. Equally, we try to look at what are the economic considerations around, developing these sort of technologies. Why can't Africa have a solar cell manufacturing unit? Why can't it manufacture its own solar panels? What's stopping? Is it related to resources? Is it related to energy? Is it related to investment? Is it related to the human mind intervention or the technology? So I feel that if these questions are really critically answered and you identify what are those weaknesses and you try to work on that, then definitely there is going to be a brighter future for Africa through renewable energy adoption and leading by example, as my colleague already pointed out earlier.
So, can I just...
Yeah, please.
In the earlier presentation, that gentleman is gone from here. He's not here. So somebody asked him.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'll start by asking a question to the room. What comes to mind when you hear the word circular economy or the phrase circular economy? Answers, please. Yes, please.
Round circle. What you sending comes back.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Okay, interesting. Yeah, you see that recycling is at the base of the circular economy. Yes, please.
Connecting points.
360, fantastic. Okay, so yeah, so they're all components of the circular economy. So thank you. Hopefully our slides will come on soon, but good to connect to all of you, and we'll be going through a hands-on session on circular economy. My name is Meera Tiwari. I'm a professor of innovation for sustainable development at the Montfort University, and I'm privileged to lead the Circular Economy Powered Renewable Energy Center, and I'm here with my wonderful colleague. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Abby Okoye, Abimbola Okoye. I'm also with the separate project. I'm head of strategic partnerships because the project works with different partners from Africa and also from the UK.
I'll just talk a bit about the circular economy. We introduce our project, and then we have some work for you to do. Okay, so next slide. So as I was saying, this is the whole concept of circular economy. You could pick it up from what you were saying there. What we have currently that is predominant in our society is the linear economy. So we take things, put resources into them, produce them in factories somewhere, sometimes in China, sometimes in America, wherever, distribute it across the world, use it, and after using it, like our cups on the table, we dispose them, and then they create waste and emissions. Okay, and I'm sure you all have heard a lot about that and how we're generating so much waste. Okay, the whole idea of the circular economy, as someone said, the cyclic, circular, basically that's what nature does. All right, so if you think about, I don't know what, a tree that grows, if it dies, it falls, it becomes fertilizer or whatever for new plants. So it's just that whole nature of what you put in, you make sure it goes round. All right, and so what we'll be doing today is looking at the whole idea in the energy space. And before I carry on, we have different frameworks for the circular economy, but I thought this is the 9R framework, which has 10 things. And so what you will see, it starts by refusing. Okay, so you all had a choice today when you went to that drink stand to either use a mug, which will be washed afterwards, or use a disposable cup. All right, so we could all have refused the disposable cup and used a cup that can recycle. Again, there's a debate about how much energy do you use to wash, blah blah blah, but again, those are the choices that we have to be making mentally for the circular economy. And then rethink, we also can reduce our usage. So for example, some people will use 1 cup throughout the day, some people will use 5 cups throughout the day. Again, all that. There's the whole reuse, repair, refurbish, remanufacture, repurpose, and then, as I said, recycle, as you can see, is much lower down the chain, and then you can recover. Okay, so what you see here into three different aspects. We have the smarter product use and manufacturing, and then most of the other ones fall in between extended lifespan of products and parts, and then useful applications of materials. Okay, so that's what we have there for the circular economy. So please, if you can, well, I'll give you that slide again. But yeah, that's what it is. So now, what we talked about separate, and that's where we come in. We're trying to use that in the energy space. So I'll just hand over to my colleague to tell you a bit about who we are and what we're doing, and we'll move on from there.
Okay, so a very quick question, because I think we're at that time of the day. So when we applied and said, okay, we want to start a renewable energy center, we have a surprise somewhere in the middle. So in terms of the project, SEPREC, so what we're doing is that we're actually creating awareness and knowledge, because not everyone is aware about renewable energy and the circularity in Africa. And then we're also building capacity. So there's a lot of capacity building in universities, academia, with industry players, and then also with industry as well. That's really key. And then another thing is influencing policy. So that means we work with government in terms of policies around renewable energy. Because it's new in certain areas, you find that new policies have to come up to regulate renewable energy. And then where it exists, we need to ensure that it's evidence-based. So that's why there's a lot of research around the work that we do. So we're actually part of a £1 billion fund, but for our project, we're looking at 3.5 million, and that's over a space of 3 years. Next slide. We're working with 6 African countries, and in each country, we're working with government, we're working with academia, and we're working with industry players. But academia is actually driving the initiatives. So that means that we're working with universities in these 6 countries, and then we're working with postgraduates there, we're working with PhDs there, so there are researchers there, and then we're also working with different industry players. And what you find is that we're not just having capacity building projects, but we're also writing papers and also policy briefs so that there are clear outcomes from our project. Because it's a UK funded project, you see that we're also working with Chatham House just so that they're helping us in terms of driving policies. So that means that from a structural approach, we have our country, our SEPREC lead, we have 2 SEPREC directors, one focusing on technology, the other focusing on social science. Then we have country leads. So for each country, we have a country lead. We're actually just coming from Nigeria about 2 months ago, where we had a summit, and then we also had a capacity building workshop as well in the UK. Next year, we're looking at also moving to Namibia, where we're also going to have a workshop, and then we'll have a capacity building summit. So we're rotating around the different countries, building capacity. We're also going to COP30 to create awareness on a global scale about what we're doing, and then we're going to have something similar to what we'll have later on today, which is a speed dating activity where we'll be building capacity here in this room. So hold on to that. We have more to come.
Okay, so yeah, I guess you would have picked out some of this. So as we said, as you heard earlier from presentations, the energy transition is not a technology problem alone. Okay, so there's a technology side, but there's also the behavioral side. Okay, so what we're doing, we have a 2-pronged approach. Firstly, we're creating new knowledge for that whole idea of the circular microgrids, of micro mini grids, whatever. But so there's the whole idea of the second life exploitation of components, but also there's a lot in terms of interconnection and optimization. So we talked about communities being off-grid, for example. How do you do it in a strategic way where you can have communities in different areas, connect them up at some point, and then connect them to the grid so that it now becomes like it's part of the grid in the near future. So there's a lot of modeling and simulation around that. But apart from that, we are doing quite a lot on the social science side. Okay, so firstly is understanding consumer behavior, There are not many studies understanding consumer behavior in African. So what makes the consumer tick? What makes the consumer go to renewable energy? Do they care about what source of energy? Is it funds? All those sort of things. So my friends in economics are doing that. But also we're looking at the business model sides. We're looking at businesses. Okay, so most of those mini grids are not viable in terms of financially without grant funding and the likes. And so what are we trying to do? So part of what we're doing is, can the circular economy also help to reduce cost of that? So your capital cost is reduced, which makes it a bit more, but also what are the business models? Underpinning these two things are also two strategic pillars. First of it is the whole idea of knowledge dissemination and capacity building. We believe that for Africa to truly transition, it has to be technology by Africans for Africans. Okay, for a long time the continent has depended on importing solutions. So how do we build our capacity and grow our stuff in a way that is beneficial for us? So that's what we're doing in terms of that. So it's a whole idea of capacity building and making sure that businesses, academics, and policymakers understand and have the tools and can grow innovation locally. But on top of that also, as Abby mentioned, Chatham House is leading on the policy side of things. So we're working with governments. We have loads of meetings with national governments, ministries, and the likes agencies on policies. So we're doing a lot of surveys and we're getting evidence-based, reviewing policies that exist, looking at gaps and so Chatham House is leading on that. So that's what we're doing. So all those four impacts are what we are facing, what we are trying to do. Next slide, please. But just very quickly, the concept that the engineers are working at is looking at the whole concept of electric vehicles. Okay, so electric vehicles are something that has come to be. All right, and I know people will ask me, we don't have a lot of electric vehicles in Africa, which is true. But as Abby pointed out, it's going to happen whether we like it or not. Firstly, there are policies that are already coming in place, and you can see that electric vehicles are growing. So we were in Nigeria in September and we had a company come to show us their fleet of electric vehicles that they are selling. Secondly, right, and quite importantly, is that if you look at the stock of vehicles in Africa, most of them are second-hand from the West. So once the West doesn't have stock for internal combustion engines again, what do you think will happen? So part of what we're doing is what frameworks can we have in place to ensure that whatever is coming to Africa is fit for purpose? So how do we test that this vehicle has enough life for a second life? Okay, and it's not just a dumping stuff. So we have all that. So that's what we're doing. So the whole idea is for social sciences, we're looking at policies and regulations around that. But for the engineering is how do you repurpose the different components, so the batteries, the power electronics, which is not very known in terms of inverters, converters and all that, the electric motors, how do you test them to ensure that they have enough life, and how do you give them a better life, so you can isolate some cells or some stuff and then make them better and then use them in either standalone for rural or use them to support weak grids. Okay, so my friends at the University of Warwick electrical engineering are doing that. Next slide, please. So, well, we've talked about this. Next slide. Okay, so again, just a reminder about the whole circular economy concept. And then next slide. No, it's not going back, it's correct.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So I'm going to tell you what you're doing now. So on your tables you should have a copy of this there, but maybe not enough, but you can see what you have here. So we want you, so if you can just read the brief, I'll pass on to Abby now, but if you can read the brief and then we can get going.
Okay, so this is going to be a very quick exercise. Your table is already a group, so no need to move around. That's a good one. So can you please look for this documents on your table? Have you found this? It should be one or two on your table. we're going to be having a separate capacity speed dating. You don't have one? Sorry, can we have one for this table? Yes, I have. Okay, yeah. Okay. So we're having a separate capacity speed dating. What you really need to know is the first bit. So we're going to have a challenge where you're going to set up a company, a renewable energy company, and the idea is that you're going to launch like a global campaign, the sustainability campaign. I can see we have entrepreneurs in this room, so I know that you're going to be fantastic at this. And there's a prize for the winning team, by the way. Okay, so you're going to engage yourselves and see how you can come up with one design, a design of a collaborative initiative, yes, that looks at lowering costs, reducing waste, and building capacity through partnerships, through academia, industry, and the government. So it sounds complicated, but it's really easy. So you're just going to first come up with a company name for a renewable energy company, and then you're going to now come up with an initiative, one sustainability initiative. We're gurus by now. And then in that initiative, you have to look at reducing costs, lowering costs, reducing waste, and building local capacity. So the speed dating is going to start now, and it's going to last for about 10 minutes for you to talk, and then one person from your team will quickly no for the discussion, but you have to talk as well, so I'm giving you some time. So it's a speed dating challenge, so you have to accelerate your pace. Okay,
So we have 10 minutes to deliberate.
10 minutes to talk, present. Yeah, over here so that we can capture you in camera. Fantastic. So I'll hand over to you so you can introduce your company name and quickly tell us about the innovative idea. You have 1 minute, okay?
Thank you.
Please stop because we're going to go.
All right. So our company name is A-Star. We have a 12-month target to basically do a demonstration of a solar PV generation plant integrated with the battery energy storage system, which are recycled batteries. We carry out a lot of activities through the journey of 12 months. We carry out some engagement workshops with local community policymakers. We also engage the local academic bodies, the universities and R&D placed locally. We bring about a business model through the development of this particular project. In 12 months of time, we educate, we demonstrate, we gather the data, and we provide a proof of concept with an output that can be further scaled beyond this small project that happens. We engage a lot of partners, be it academia, government, industry, investors, and local bodies. Key aim is to obviously target air pollution, try to reduce air pollution through incorporation of renewable energy technologies, try to incorporate circularity principles by using battery, which are recycled batteries, particularly coming from EVs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, we picked Nigeria because for the project to work, we have to have education.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, A+. Thank you, A+ Nigeria. Thank you so much. Can we have the next president? Do we have any visual aids? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, okay. Okay, so you just need someone to help you hold it from your team. Okay, over here. And the same rules apply. 1 minute for the presentation. Please pay attention because the audience is judging.
You cannot switch.
Okay, so can you please tell us, first of all, the name of your company and what the brilliant idea is? Okay, 1 minute, please. Thank you.
You do the name.
My name is Anwar Khan. I'm the UK Energy Solution Ltd Limited Company CEO of the directors. So I do work for the long time, last 10 years, who done the commercial energy. So we save the money and we tell the customers to how to save your energy and how to save your money for future and running for your business, and you can extension your business more and how to you save the money for your future for generation. Thank you.
Thank you. And hello, everyone. I'm Crystal Orietta. I'm from Prince George's County. And our company today, we really wanted to focus on the full picture. We wanted to focus on, one, installing solar panels, right? That's the first step. Focusing on what we talked about earlier, the small grids in rural areas. So looking at our customer being mainly the government. But we wanted to also look at how can we help with waste. So not just installing solar panels, but we also wanted to work on recycling the solar panels and the batteries. So then having an additional customer being other industries. And we wanted to work with the local governments and partner with the local economies to create opportunities for jobs in those communities, to specifically working on recycled products, making it more cost efficient by selling those products. So when we recycle the batteries and we recycle the solar panels, looking at unique products that can be created, helping to create revenue for those different communities that are creating the small grids, and then also making our costs lower. So we wanted to focus on a few things. One, focusing on smaller rural communities. Two, focusing on major governments as our source of revenue. But then three, making sure that we also tackle the issue of waste and create more revenue by also making business-to-business customers. So that's our project. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can we have the third presentation? Fantastic. Can we have someone to help him from the group to hold it up? Blue tack. Okay. Okay. Or I'll volunteer myself to help you hold it.
Do you mind? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
1 minute, please.
Thank you.
We need to move that way.
Good afternoon. My name is Tariq Mahmood, and my company, with the idea for energy conservation, the company is called Energetics, and that's the name of the company. And the idea is to produce batteries that are rechargeable and challenging industry, government, the public, and advertisers to increase the use and manufacture the production of rechargeable batteries to infiltrate the homes, especially homes with a lower income band, so that they can use rechargeable batteries. That'd be a primary target where we can monitor by increased number of unit sales, and policy we would use encouraging the recycling or handing over to other families once people don't want them. But increase of usage will increase the scale of use, and the cost would come down. So we would have to market the idea to the public, toy manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, the public, and the government to help in this. And recharging would need electricity, and the electricity could be produced from chemical reaction. I'd have to look into that, exactly which chemical reaction, using cathodes and anodes to produce the electricity. So that's the idea. We would challenge academia and industry and government to lower the costs for manufacturing per unit, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next group, please. Okay, please come. So can you tell us the name of the company and what you do? You have 1 minute.
I'm not good at writing.
They're using technology.
I'm quick when I'm typing, so I'm sorry. Trying to save waste though. Okay, my name is Juliet, and I'm a student in nursing practice. And this is my partner.
I'm Ramina.
Okay, so our company's name is Cycle Nova Energy. Thank you. And our tagline is powering the future and sustaining the cycle. So it's more like turning imaginations to reality. And how do we do that? Now, about the company, Cyclenova Energy is a global renewable energy innovator that integrates circular economy principle into every stage of its main chain. That's what we're trying to look into. And then we have collaborative initiative, which is LOOP, which means local open origin partnership, whereby it's open to bring in investors and partners. So we have, our goal is to create regional circular energy hubs that integrate local manufacturing, academic research, and policy framework to reduce life cycle cost of renewable technologies while building community resilience and technical capacity. And then we also have our impact is more to reduce waste. 90% of end-of-life materials diverted from landfill through manufacturing. And then we have the local jobs, establish skilled green jobs, fosters innovation clusters around renewable tech. And our core idea on Loop, just like I said, it's Project Loop Connect Industry, Cyclenova plus local manufacturers, academia, the government to co-develop modular recyclable renewable system. That's example, solar panels, wind turbine components, battery storage, using local materials and workforce. This initiative focuses on designing for repair, reuse, and remanufacture rather than disposal. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Can we have the next group? Okay, thank you. The final group, I hope you're getting ready. So don't forget to say the company name.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, good afternoon. My name is Abbas and I'm representing Startup Innovators. We built our model around the operations of a Nigerian company, and our idea is, if you look around, the air conditioning units in this room have come a long way, but what happened to the old air conditioning units? They are somewhere in some landfill. So our model is that we want to have those old units and we want to strip it and refurbish it into the modern one, which can be inverter powered. And with those inverter powered air conditioning units, we want to install that in public educational centers, in primary, secondary, and universities in Nigeria. And our aim is that this would make it more attractive for people to stay in school. We could influence the out-of-school population, particularly in northern Nigeria, where temperatures get as high as 35 to 40 degrees on normal conventional days, and down south where teachers get very exhausted. That is essentially a model, and I hope it makes sense. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Can we have the last group, please? Last group. Thank you. So don't forget to first say what your company name is and then your innovative idea. Thank you. Company and what you do.
Sure.
Let's listen because we're all voting. Yes?
All right. Hi, everyone. Oh, you want a spade? Cool. Awesome. All right. So, this is loud enough?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the last was from Green Bloom. That was the last presentation. The two gentlemen at the back, Green Bloom.
Are you saying one table can vote for two people can vote for one?
Yeah, multiple. We can vote, but you can't vote for yourself. Okay, so Green Bloom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Green Bloom. Can we have you please come up and get your prize? Let's give them, yeah.
Let's keep clapping for
Thank you so much.
Okay, 1 minute.
We kind of knew we were going to win it.
Save the best for the last.
We should take
Hold your microphone for you.
You know why? Because you have a good heart.
That's a cool. That's a cool one.
Okay.
So then we'll have a shed.
Okay, can you stand? Can you stand here, please? Thank you. Can I invite Professor Muyiwa Oyinlola, please? Yes. Yes. So on behalf of SEPREC, can you please present it to the winners?
Okay.
We're doing the presentation, please, on behalf of SEPREC.
Separate to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. So grateful. Thank you guys.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you very much. Right. Can I? Session. Let me know if you're ready. If you're not ready, I will just do a small game in the room and ask you to cross from your table to the next table, meet at least 2 new people you've never met before, and just get to engage. Can we? Move to the next table, the other side of the room. Meet at least 2 new people you've never met before. Just get to know them, what they do, and how you guys can engage in the future. Okay, let's cross. While we get ready for the quiz, let's engage. Let's get to talk to each other. My Dr. Hassan. We can continue the conversation after this session. Thank you. I appreciate if everyone can be seated. Thank you. So, without further ado, join me in putting your hands together for a befitting round of applause for Lady Sidra. She is the Deputy Lieutenant to the King for the Essex County. If you guys know the counties in the United Kingdom. So Essex is one of the biggest of them. And she represents the King in that region. So I want a befitting round of applause for her again. Thank you very much, my lady.
Thank you very much. We've just got some extra things that need to be said. So we've got Tariq Mahmood here is just going to cover, because I'm linked with universities as well.
Okay, just good afternoon. Just a few more words I'd like to what Sister Joy said. Professor Dr. Lady Sidra Naim, she's a lecturer at a university in Essex. She's also a Deputy Lieutenant for King Charles III, who has a great interest in global energy access and caring for the environment. The late Queen had a garden canopy promotion, and Sidra is here as a quiz mistress today to deliver a quiz on sustainability and energy themes. So let's welcome once again a hand for Sister Sidra. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, what we're going to do now is I need you all to go to Kahoot It. That's the website at the top, Kahoot It. And you need to put in that game pin. And when you do that successfully, your name should appear on here. If you can put your proper name, please, no pet names. There'll be no arguments at the end on who won. Okay? So let's do that first and then we will begin. This is the fun part of today, to liven you all up. The volume needs to go up. I create the atmosphere with the music. Yeah, leave it now. Bit less, I think. Yeah, just leave it now, and I will do all this. Okay? I'm gonna do all this bit.
I'm here.
Yeah. You're going to play as well.
Yeah.
You can go over there. It's not just testing your knowledge, it's the promptness in which you answer those questions. So in a minute you will see, you will go in like a time order. So the quicker you are, the more likely you are to win. There are 3 winners, and for all 3 that we have prizes. Okay? So promptness makes points, and what do points make? Prizes, okay? Promptness makes points and points make prizes. And for the winner, we've got a clock, a special G-cell clock, as well as bags of goodies, okay? Right, are we all ready, everybody? I will read out the questions. You will see colors on your screen. You just have to press the right color. But I will read out the questions, okay? Anybody else who's still trying to get in? No. Right, I'm going to start now. Here we go. Sustainability and energy. How many people worldwide have to live without electricity? Is it 1%, 5%, 12% or 15%? The quicker you press that button, the quicker you will go up that board, the points board. The answer is actually 12%. Okay, let us have a look who is in the top 3. Oh, so Jafar is at the top. Tariq, you're second. That's good. And Aisha, you are third. And you are Aisha, yes? Brilliant. Right, but anything can change at any time. Let's move on. Question number 2. Which of these are renewable energy resources? Wind, geothermal, moving water, or all of these? The answer was actually all of these. Some of you are nodding, which means you got it right. Let's have a look. There's an unchanged notice board. Isn't that interesting? Unchanged notice board. Right, let's move along. Tony, I hope you're participating in this. Right. Which product contains petroleum? Is it rubber, glass, rubber band, or plastic bag? Which one of those products contains petroleum? The answer is plastic bag. Okay? Right, let's see who's in the top 3. Okay, still who's Jafar? Where is Jafar? Put your hands up. Oh, right at the back there. And Tariq, you're still number 2. And we've got a new person there, Abase Akpabio. What a lovely name that is. Very unusual name. That's a lovely name, that is. Very nice.
Excuse me now.
Actually, you said Abbas earlier. Abbas, I'll call you Abbas. Yes, did anybody have something to say?
Abbas and Hassan have the same mark.
They have the same mark. Oh, that means it's going to be even more competitive on the next bit. So you two need to really get your fingers going. Right. And Tamu is the highest climber, up 7 places. There's a big jump there with Tamu. Right, let's go on to the next one. Double points. This is double points. Which statement is not true? Climate change is the result of global warming. Climate change and global warming are the same phenomena. Global warming refers to how much the Earth's surface temperature is rising. The effect of global warming on average weather condition is climate change. This one's a more difficult one, and that's why it's double points. Whoever gets this will go up that points board. And you get more time for this one as well. Right. A lot more got this one wrong. Now this one, it was a trick question because it was which one is not true. Okay? The answer is climate change and global warming are the same phenomena. They are not. They're not the same. Okay? Right, let's have a look. Oh, some people have gone right off. This is why the double points is where you've got to really concentrate. Okay? So Hassan, you are number 2 now. Okay? And Queen J's number 3. Aisha, you're on number 4. And Tamu, who was climbing up, has gone up, and Pranav is the highest climber. Right, don't worry if you're not on that board, there's plenty more questions to catch up. Number 5, solar cells convert sunlight into diesel, electricity, wind power, or electricity and heat. Which one is it? Electricity and heat. Actually, 17 people got that right. That's quite a lot. Okay, Myra has just popped onto the board. The others are all the same. Jaffer, you are doing really well. Yeah. Jaffer has actually been number 1 right from the beginning. Right, let's carry on. What is renewable energy? Energy from burning fossil fuels, energy from natural sources that nature replenishes, energy from nuclear power. What is renewable energy? So many people got that right, actually. Energy from natural sources that nature replenishes. Oh, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, still Jaffa, and Assad has climbed up onto the scoreboard now. Okay. Those of you who have just come in, you can still go to Kahoot It, and you can still put in this game pin, and you can join in very quickly. Okay, that's the game pin at the bottom. True or false? Double points. What are fossil fuels? True or not true? Energy sources formed over millions of years from the buried remains of dead plants and animals. Finite resources that are formed over millions of years and are being used up much faster than they can be replaced. Energy sources often called clean or green because they produce little to no greenhouse gas emissions. It was actually false. The last point there was false. Okay? Oh, Tarek, you're back. You need to keep on now at it. Right, Assad, where's Assad? Put your hand up. Assad, you're doing very well. You've gone right up. That's good. Right, let's carry on. Which of the following is a renewable source of energy? Coal, natural gas, solar power, nuclear energy. It's solar power. That one was actually covered today in the lecture. Okay? Shall we find out who's in the top 3? It's more or less an unchanged notice board there. Okay. Jaffer, you're still at the top. I'm well impressed. Jaffer's over there. Okay. No, he hasn't. Nobody knows the answers. Nobody knows the answers. The type of power obtained from using moving water to generate electricity is also called microelectric, hydroelectric, dynoelectric. None of the answers. Hydroelectric, quite a lot of you got that right. I don't know if some of you saw Kermit there under the water. That was to distract you all. Right, let's have a look. Unchanged notice board, completely unchanged notice board there. Right, let's move on. Which of the following best describes sustainable energy? Energy that can only be used once, energy that is expensive to products, energy that meets present needs without compromising future generations, energy from fossil fuels. What is sustainable energy? This one. Energy that meets present needs without compromising future generations. This is getting tense now, isn't it? Let's see who is in the top three. It's an unchanged notice board apart from Meera, who's just climbed up. Okay? This is getting really nail-biting. Yeah, but no one knows the answers, not even me. I can't even remember them, so. He's been actually listening throughout the whole thing, that's why. Right, let's carry on. Which is the primary environmental benefit of using hydroelectric power? It reduces water pollution, it does not emit carbon dioxide during operation, it increases fish population, it improves soil fertility. That's the one. Quite a lot, actually. I'm very impressed. I think everybody's been really listening to the talks. Okay. It does not emit carbon dioxide during operation is the answer. Unchanged notice board, completely unchanged notice board. Still the same top five. We've only got a few more answers left. There is time for everyone to catch up. So just get those fingers moving because promptness makes points. What do points make? Prizes. Double points. What is the core goal of the circular economy? To use resources once and dispose of them, to rely solely on imported technologies, to maximize resource use and minimize waste, to increase industrial production rates. This is a difficult one, that's why it's double points. Someone's mobile's going off here. Can they come and close it, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll put it on airplane.
Yeah, can we close it, please? Right. The answer is to maximize resource use and minimize waste. Okay? Let's now see. Still unchanged notice board. This is so interesting, isn't it?
Gemma, you have a telephone at reception.
Right, there's very few questions left now, so keep it up, whoever is winning. Number 13. What is the main advantage of using wind energy? It requires large amounts of water, it produces greenhouse gases, it is non-renewable, it generates electricity without air pollution. What's the main advantage? It generates electricity without air pollution. Okay, that is the answer.
Remains the same.
It's still an unchanged notice board. I think something's going wrong here. I think the screen's frozen. Yeah.
I think you got a special network.
Right, only 2 more questions left, everybody. You could come off that notice board at any time. Number 14, double points. Which statement is not true? Carbon footprints is how much carbon's released in air as a result of daily activity. The 2 main gases that make up carbon emissions are carbon dioxide and methane. The main gases that make up carbon emissions are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Carbon emissions cause global warming and climate change. It's getting tense now. Jaws music. This is the answer. The main gases that make up carbon emissions are oxygen and carbon dioxide. Can you see the board? Okay, so that's the answer. We're on the last question now, okay? Let's have a look. Tariq, I think he deserves a clap for that one. Jaffer, where's Jaffer? Did you take that phone call? Right, last question, and guess what? It's really hard, it's a double pointer. So let's have a look. Right, are we ready? Double points. Double points. Which action best demonstrates secular thinking in energy management? Prioritizing short-term returns over sustainability, expanding fossil fuel capacity for backup, designing systems for repair, reuse and recycling, disposing of all components at end of life. Which action best demonstrates secular thinking in energy management? This was actually the last talk we had.
Yeah, I got it.
We all got it. We all got it.
Oh, so many people got that right. Designing systems for repair, reuse and cycling. Right, let's see who the top 3 winners are. Let's have a drum roll, everybody. Drum roll. Here we go. Number 3 is Assad. Number 2 is Hassan. Number 1 is Tariq. Oh, that's amazing. Right. Tariq gets the big clock. Here we go. That's your clock and that's your goodie bag. We're having a photo, are we? I've already given the right bag.
I want the energy access. For the sake of the energy access granted, yeah.
Right, photo.
Okay, thank you for letting me win. Making my day. Thank you.
Okay, right. Number 2, Hassan. Hassan. Well done, Hassan. Hassan's a lecturer, so right. So we need a photo with number 2 now.
Energy access.
I've given it. No, the clock is only for number 1. It can't be the same for everyone. It can't be. This is a competition. He was second. Okay? I'm the boss with the quiz. I'm the boss with the quiz.
Come on, Joseph.
Yeah, smile for me as well.
Thank you.
Right. Number 3 is Assad. Number 3 is Assad. There you go, Assad. Okay? This way. They said so that the screen's in.
Jaffa have to be given consolidation price. Jaffa have to be given
No, we can't because he didn't win. That's not fair. Right. Can we have all 3 winners at the front, please? Again, for a group photo with your prizes. And can we give everybody a big clap, please?
1 second. The light. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for your
1 second. Some light. It's important picture.
How's my bag?
You know you're in front of the 2 videos, don't you?
No.
There's 2 video cameras behind you. You need to go a bit on the side, maybe. Or sit down and do it. Okay, right. Thank you very much, everybody, and well done to all the winners. Let's give them another big round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think it was emotional. Raise up your hand. Maria, you didn't even come out top 3 too. We worked hard.
Yes.
We worked hard.
If you look at the answers,
storage, how the different scenarios work in. Equally, the lab next door is going to be updated into a living lab. We work closely with a company called Siemens. I'm sure you have heard about it, wherein we are going to digitize the entire data about what is the solar power that is being generated within these labs, or broadly in the university. We have a data capture system which captures how these different rooms in the universities are used, what is the kind of temperature, what is the kind of air quality inside these rooms, what is the occupancy, what is the lighting like in these rooms. So all these different aspects related to energy generation, energy storage, energy efficiency within buildings are widely covered. We also work with some industry partners wherein we work on some small scale wind turbines some amount of electricity. So there's lots of things happening. If you keep yourself on the internet, look for London Renewable Energy Lab, you'll see about what are the developments going forward. So hopefully we will be launching this formally in March next year, when we hope that all the different equipment are adopted replaced and up and running. So once it's there, hopefully I will invite you as soon as possible. We can join in on our okay. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed your tour today. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hi, good day. What's your name?
My name is Anwar Khan.
Lovely to meet you, Anwar. My name is Tiffany. So, what expectations did you have coming on to the conference today?
It's so wonderful. Is renewable energy sector. I'm keep working into last 15 years the energy sector.
Yeah.
Renewable energy and power of energy saving on the market.
Yeah.
So I do for the UK business solution energy. So I got 12,000 clients in UK basis.
okay.
So I saved all the client how to save onto the UK marketing, and plus is energy has the base onto that. Everyone have a target to save it for your bills, attraction your renewable energy, power of energy, solar energy, and I'm also Bangladesh have opened for the new market for the solar energy. So hopefully I'm going to Africa, and I got my good friend of mine which is organized by Best Event today, and it's so wonderful, and hopefully I'm going to Africa and to work more on to that solar energy and for the renewable energy, so power entire for our next second generation, and particular to our business attraction onto the next level. Thank you.
That's great. That's very interesting. It's a lot of great work you're doing out there. So what's one main thing that you're taking out of the conference today? Just one major aspect of the sustainability conference that you're taking back to your own field?
Sustainable network is even so wonderful. The connection give the better nation, better energy, better accountability, better business, and you can go to for the African country, and you can do investing more, so you can give a better directions, better meet up the people, and you get more talented people you can find and connect, and that is goes to for your future, for your business, running of your business.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much for your time. Hi, Dr. Abby. It was lovely to meet you today. My name is Tiffany, and I just want to know, what was your expectations coming into the conference today?
I think I really wanted to learn a lot about what the university does in terms of sustainability, and then also get to know a lot of the stakeholders and to see their own different take on sustainability and also in renewable energy. And I knew that I was going to learn something new today, so that was really good with the different classes, different presentations, the game, the Kahoot that also tested our knowledge on sustainability. So I think it was very intriguing.
Great. So what's one major thing from the conference you're going to take back to your own field?
I think that everyone has a role to play in terms of sustainability and also renewable energy, and that we can all come up with innovative ideas and solutions to make sure that we're self-sustaining in every action that we do. So I think we can do that with academia, with industry, and also with government, so we can all play a role in
those are like the three, that's where it all meets, if you know what I mean. So I think that's a key player in anything sustainability whatsoever. So thank you for coming. Hi, good day, lovely to meet you. What's your name, please?
Osama Ayawe, Dr. Osama Ayawe.
Lovely to meet you, Dr. Osama Ayawe. So what was your expectation coming into the GCEL conference today?
Okay, well, collaborations, insight into energy access, right, and the innovative ways we can make this readily accessible, and opportunities for resources to advance the course, and the fabulous people who are driving these things across the globe.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree with what you've said. There's so many key players in the sustainability, energy, education, sector today that brings all of these things together. So what's one main thing you're taking back to the field of education, because you're a lecturer or a senior lecturer, and so what's one main thing you're going to take back to the field of study in terms of what's gone on today in the conference?
Okay, well, that opportunities abound for energy access, but it depends on the direction that you're looking at, and the nexus between and the synergy between industry, academia, and there's one government. I think
that's key.
Yeah, it's not complicated. It just depends on the platforms that you are connecting to, and this is one fabulous place to see the opportunities across this trio components, which speaks loudly to the circular economy, like we heard. Very interesting vibes.
Yes, very. I completely agree with you, and we've enjoyed having you here today with us. Are you going to be around tomorrow?
Fabulous. Yeah, well, part of me is already GCEL, so I have a choice. Advisory team.
Yes, that makes sense. So what were your expectations coming into the conference today?
So my expectations were around the whole idea of collaboration and bringing different voices together to see how we can move the dial on the energy transition.
Yes, that's absolutely lovely. That's because there's been a lot of great industry leaders and people who have a great voice in terms of sustainability, academic innovations, and government as well. So what's one key thing that you took out of the conference today that you're taking back to your field?
I believe it's the whole idea of collaboration in terms of different disciplines. It's not just about technology, it's also about the social science, behavior, and the main thing is how do we ensure those things work together seamlessly.
Yes, that's very, very key as well. Are you going to be around as well tomorrow?
Unfortunately, that's.
We'll miss you. We'll absolutely miss you. But thank you for joining us today, and I really hope you have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you very.
Have a good time tomorrow.
Thank you very much. We will. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's the end of the day one conference where we've heard so many innovative speeches from great policymakers, people in education and sustainability and innovation as well. We cannot wait to have you with us tomorrow. Come tomorrow, join us at the University of East London and also at the House of Parliament for our dinner. Bye.